I'm in South Plainfield, where I'm chasing Governor Christie. Governor Christie has been avoiding questions from the press over the past couple days, but today he was in a good mood, and I was able to ask him some really important questions about the current race between Trump and Hillary. The first question I asked Governor Christie was about Trump's speech on Tuesday.
ISIS also threatens peaceful Muslims across the Middle East. I only want to admit people who share our values and love our people.
One of the things that stood out in Trump's speech talking about Muslims, he seemed to be more varied, saying that he recognized that some Muslims were persecuted in the Middle East and that he would allow Muslims possibly who love America. So has his stance on Muslims and their association with ISIS changed?
No, just the media's characterization of it. I mean, listen, I was in this when he first announced the Muslim ban, and within 48 hours he had nuanced it and backed off of it. This was back in the primary. But you all continue to call it a Muslim ban. It's not what it is, and never has been. And so I've urged him to continue to speak in detail about this so that it prevents the media from shorthanding it and making him look like something that he's not. I've said this all along. Donald Trump is a guy who doesn't see color. He doesn't see religion. Donald Trump's all about success. And he doesn't care what religion you practice, what color you are, where you come from, if you're going to be successful and help him be successful. And that's the Donald Trump I've always known. And I think that speech yesterday is just another indication that when he gets into more detail on this stuff, people recognize that he's someone who's about making America safer for everybody.
You were phenomenal at raising funds for the RGA, but what's the trouble with Trump? Why is it hard for him
First of all, it's not my job, by the way. It's not my job to raise.
But you're at the fundraising events, many of them in New York.
I was at one of them yesterday. It seemed like it went pretty well. A lot of people there, and it was a big ticket price. So.
But he's not competing with Hillary in terms of funds.
He doesn't need to compete with Hillary in terms of funds. Hillary's going to need every nickel of that to try to convince people that she's not who everyone knows she is. I mean, Hillary Clinton's going to need every nickel of that money. She's going to need every employee in that warehouse in Brooklyn. She's going to need all of that to try to convince people that she doesn't represent the Washington status quo, that she doesn't represent everything that's failed in Washington, D.C. before. She's going to need every nickel of it. I hope she raises as much money as she possibly can and spends it.
But doesn't Trump
be good for the economy? No, Trump doesn't need that.
But boots on the ground, that costs money all over the state of general election.
Donald Trump will have plenty of money to do exactly what he needs to do to be able to win this election. But he doesn't need to do what Hillary Clinton needs to do, which is to create a new persona. Hillary Clinton needs to become someone different because the person that she's known as can't get elected president. Donald Trump doesn't need to do that. So, let Hillary Clinton have as much money as she wants to have. That is of no moment to me. And by the way, not my responsibility. I've raised a lot of money over time, as you mentioned, for the RGA, for the RNC, for the state party here in New Jersey, for myself as a candidate. That's not my responsibility. When Donald asks me to help, I help, but it's not my responsibility. My responsibility is getting him ready to be president of the United States as the chairman of his transition. That's what I'm focused on. And my job starts now and will get very interesting on November 9th. Because on November 9th, I intend to be sitting across the table from the president-elect of the United States and saying, sir, here's the 200-day plan we've put together for your consideration. Sir, here are 3 or 4 candidates for every cabinet position for your consideration. Here are a few candidates for every White House staff position for your consideration. We're ready to discuss it with you.
First of all, I'm happy that he talked to you. I think it's great that he was that open.
He was really out here to defend Trump. Trump has been having a bad couple days, and Governor Christie wanted to set the record straight that Trump is changing his tone.
Does Christie want a job with the Donald if he becomes president? And if so, what?
As far as he knows, he's not being vetted to be vice president, but he is the transition chair. So one can expect that Christie will come out with something.
I love that Christie says it's a perception that the media is spinning Donald Trump as this guy that wants to ban Muslims, as though he hasn't said it on a number of occasions.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
When you run for president, you're responsible for what you say.
What I'm thinking is we're seeing firsthand the first election that all the conventional old models are on their ear, they're upside down, and social media is going to have a way bigger impact.
Yeah, but you can't tweet your way to the White House, Bill, and it might not be that way.
I don't know.
The thing that Trump learned this week is he needs to have a rapid response in place. When he says something that backfires on him, when he's accused of something, he needs to be on it like that.
The jury is still out as to whether Trump can tweet his way to the presidency, but having spoken to Governor Christie, Trump's camp is very confident.